In this video, we're going to learn everything about the last 6 letters in the English alphabet. Stick around. Hello everyone, this is Malik and you're watching Learnova. Today's sounds are a, v, w, x, y, z. Let's get started. Our first sound for today is the sound a. Very easy to pronounce. In the video of this letter, you will find the letter holding an umbrella. When the wind blows, it lifts it up. That's why we hold our finger this way, pointing upwards, and we say and that's the body movement we do every time we say that sound. How to write an uppercase A? Very simple. We always draw an uppercase A between the first line and the third line. We start from the first line on the top. We draw a vertical line all the way down to the third line. But before reaching the third line, let's draw a cloud or a horseshoe this way to the right. And then we're going to move upwards all the way to the first line again. That's how we write an uppercase A. A lowercase a is almost the same exact thing. There's only a little difference there. Well, first of all, we need to know that we draw it always between the second and the third lines. We start from the second line. We draw a vertical line to the third one, but before reaching the third one, we draw a cloud or a horseshoe, and then we move all the way up to the second line again, and then down to the third line. Don't release the pencil. The second sound for today is the sound V. Watch the mouth. In the video of this letter, you will find the sound V in its room, but the room is vibrating. So, first we form the letter with our fingers. This way. And then we vibrate our hand a little bit. We shake it a little bit like that. And that's exactly the body movement we do when we say Make sure it doesn't go V or V or anything like that. It's just that's all. In order to form an uppercase we draw it always from the first line to the third lines. We start from the first line, drawing a leaning line all the way down to the third line this way, and then another leaning line all the way up to the first line this way towards the right direction. The lowercase v, same exact shape, but a bit smaller. We always draw it between the second and the third lines. The same way exactly. Starting from the second line towards the right, we draw a leaning line down there to the third line and then up there to the second line again. Very simple. Our third sound for today is the sound w. Very easy to pronounce. W. In the video, it's a DJ man. So it goes w. Just like that. That's the body movement we do every time we say W. In order to write an uppercase W, we always write it between the first and the third lines. So let's get started. From the very top, we're going to draw a leaning line towards the right, ending at the third line there, and then back to the first line on the top, towards the right, and again down to the third line, and again up to the first line there. The lowercase w. Same exact thing, same exact shape, same exact way, but a little bit smaller. We draw in between the second and the third lines. The same way, starting from the second line, down to the third one, up to the second line again, down to the third line, and up to the second line again. The next sound is the sound x. It is a combination of the k and sound. So when we put them together, we go In the video of this letter, the x sound lives in an X-ray room. When they switch on the machine, they can see their bones and they look exactly like that. So that's what we do when we say x, 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 x. How to write an uppercase x? Between the first and the third lines, we start with a leaning line. From the right, all the way down to the left, and another one from the left, all the way down to the right. Make sure it's exactly between the first and the third lines. The lowercase x, it is the same exact shape, but different sizes. This one is a little bit smaller and we draw it between the second and the third line. The same way exactly. One leaning line from the right to the left, another leaning line from the left to the right. Just make sure it's exactly between the second and the third lines. The fifth sound for today is the sound yeah, yeah, yeah. Very easy to pronounce. Yeah, yeah. In the video, the sound yeah is a cheerleader, cheering always for the team. Yeah, yeah. And the body movement we do every time we say that sound is the letter itself formed by our hand, like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sometimes we can put it under our chin like this. Yeah, yeah, yeah. How to draw an uppercase yeah? It consists of two different parts. The first part, we always write it between the first and the second lines. Okay, so we're gonna get started with a leading line from the left to the right, and then another one from the right to the left. This part is always between the first and the second lines. And then we release the pencil. And then between the second and the third lines, we're going to form a vertical line. Just this way. A lowercase yeah. First, we draw a leading line between the second and the third lines. From the left to the right. And then we release the pencil. And another leading line, but this one is going to be longer, between the second and the fourth lines, and it goes from the right to the left, this way. There is another shape for the lowercase yeah. We can form it this way. Between the second and the third lines, we're going to start with the vertical line, going all the way down, but before reaching the third line, we're going to draw a horseshoe to the right. And then we're going to go up again to the second line. Don't release the pencil, keep the pencil on. And then go all the way down to the fourth line. Before reaching the fourth line, we're going to draw another half a circle or a horseshoe to the left this way. The last sound for today is the sound zzz. Zzz. Very easy to pronounce. Just make sure you don't get your tongue out, because sometimes people go like that. It's a completely different sound. The right way to say it is zzz, zzz. In the video of this letter, you will see the letter sleeping all the time. So it goes zzz, zzz. That's exactly the body movement we do every time we say zzz. In order to write an uppercase zzz, it is a piece of cake. We draw it between the first and the third lines. First, we start with the horizontal line on the first line, and it starts from the left to the right. And then a leaning line from the right to the left between the first and the third lines, and then another horizontal line on the third line from the left to the right this way. The lowercase z is exactly the same thing, but smaller. So we're going to draw it between the second and the third lines. A sleeping line or a horizontal line, and then a leaning line, and then another horizontal line on the third line this way. Just make sure that the uppercase z goes exactly between the first and the third lines, and the lowercase z goes exactly between the second and the third lines. How to practice at home. We have explained in previous videos how to practice the letter sounds at home, but we're gonna go through that one more time briefly. The first exercise is only about the sounds and the body movements. So, I'm going to make a body movement, and my child is expected to say the sound, and then we're going to flip. I'm going to say zzz, and my child is expected to do the body movement. If my child struggles doing that, just keep practicing. Remind your child once and twice before moving on to another letter, and everything will be just fine. The second exercise, using flashcards. Don't forget there are free printables in the description box below. First, we're going to practice using the lowercase cards, and then we're going to practice using the uppercase cards, and then we're going to mix all of them together. I'm simply going to show my child the card, and my child is requested to say the sound of the card that I show. Once my child masters everything about those 6 letters, we're going to get all the flashcards of all the 26 letters of the English alphabet, and we're going to mix all of them together and show them in a mixed way. Next, we're going to do the opposite thing. I'm going to say sound, and my child is going to search through all the lowercase and the uppercase cards to find the 2 cards of the sound that I just said. The last exercises will be only about tracing letters and writing letters. And again, there are free printables of all the English alphabet letters in the description box below. That would be pretty much everything you need to know about the last 6 letters of the English alphabet. This should be our last video of this level. In the next level, we're going to learn how to put letters together to form words. If you have any questions, suggestions, ideas, comments, please let us know in the comment section below. If you like the video, please like and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to enable the notification bell to get our next videos once released. Thank you very much. See you next level.